Hi there, it's Dr. Lisa Smitch here, and today I'm actually not in the office. We're down the road at Radical Yes, which is an amazing little shoe store, and I'm talking about shoes and shoe fitting. So we're going to go through 5 common mistakes people make when they're buying shoes, especially if you're keeping your back, your hips, knees and feet in mind. So stick around and we're going to go through those in a moment. So we've actually got, I'm going to invite the owner of the store to come and sit down as I go through the points. So Karen, come and say hi to everyone.
Hi Lisa.
Thanks for having us today.
Pleasure.
Thank you. Well, I'm excited too, and I love your shoes.
Thank you.
I got here because one of our practice members had told me about your amazing shoe store and your shoes and your story. And I was looking for a pair of boots for winter that were going to keep me warm, that I could run around the office all day, and I could also fit my orthotics in. But they also had to look good. So this was my one-stop shop. I came here and I found exactly what I wanted and just loved the whole ethos of the place. So it's great. So thanks, Karen.
That's my pleasure.
So I'm going to go through the 5 points now and then just ask Karen, you know, how well her shoes actually fit into these categories. So the 5 most common mistakes people make. So the first one is the type, oh, I've just lost my foot.
Don't drop your foot.
So the first one is the style of shoe. So, you know, as much as high heels look great and, you know, it makes us look better in an outfit, it's definitely, they're not a great idea. So any heel that is greater than 5 centimeters is actually going to start to change your center of gravity. It's kind of like, you know, having you know, being pregnant or having a beer belly, everything changes. So what has to happen to accommodate for that tilt that those high heels give you, you then have to increase the arch in your back, which is really not doing your back any good. So high heels, you know, really just save them for those, you know, occasional special occasions. So high heels are not a great idea. Do we have high heels here?
We have no high heels.
No high heels.
No. As high as we go is 2.5 centimeters.
Okay.
Which is we call it our little and often day heel. That's that one there. So that's as high as we go, and for exactly lower back issues.
Yeah.
So,
great.
Yeah.
I'll be doing a bit of shopping
No
this.
lower back issues.
And the other one, you know, are flats, are really super flat shoes with a very, very thin sole. Not so great, the Ballet Flats, for foot, ankle, knee, hip and back issues. So we do want to avoid those. The other one is flip-flops. So, you know, thongs are not great because what happens in thongs is that if you're wearing them for long periods of time, you claw your toes to try and hang on to those thongs, and that can really aggravate, you know, that foot, that ankle, that whole gait, that whole way that you're walking. So save those thongs for the beach. Okay, and do we have thongs here?
No thongs.
No thongs.
No, aside from the fact that I find them aesthetically very displeasing. No, we don't do thongs.
No thongs.
No thongs.
Okay, that's
sorry.
Great. and another one is platform. So a real solid based shoe really doesn't allow your foot to move through the different phases of gait. So this is my little foot here. It's just a skeleton of the foot, and you know, look, there are 26 bones. There's a lot of bones in your foot.
Feet are amazing.
And this is survival. So, you know, our ancestors needed to run from those, you know, saber-toothed tiger and woolly mammoths. So, you know, we really needed to make sure that those feet were going to get you moving quickly. So our feet are really, really important. They're really, you know, it's important for our survival. So we need to be able to move that foot and all those little bones throughout the day to keep that mobility, to keep that really to keep that flexibility in the ankle as well, and make sure we're supporting, you know, that lower limb by keeping that foot mobile. So if we're not really keeping that foot mobile and moving those joints, then we get more stress up that kinetic chain, up the knee, hip and back. So Karen, the second point that people often find that they mess up on is the shape of the shoe. So here's our little foot. So have a look here. The front of the foot, that forefoot is wider. It's where your toes are. And what do most shoes do? they squish that, okay? And if you're standing all day and you're walking around, you really don't want to be doing that for the health of your feet, the health of your ankles, and then, as I said, that whole kinetic chain going up to your spine. So, do any of your shoes tick this box?
Yes, they do. They do. This is a box we do tick, literally. This is a toe box.
Toe box
so
shoe.
That's quite broad through the midsole as well,
Yeah.
so which is exactly where those bones are that you're talking about. It's also like the shape of the toe box is raised so it doesn't crush on down the toe as well.
Beautiful.
And then obviously with the leather lining, it lets the foot breathe as well. So,
yeah, that's great. Because that is actually another point that we do need to discuss is materials. So
materials is complex.
Very, there's, look, we just kind of pick up and go lovely, but we have no idea what goes into the styling, the design, the finding those leathers, all that kind of stuff. But what I can tell you is that our bodies are natural. We actually prefer natural materials to sit against our body. So, for our feet to be able to breathe, to be able to get that mobility in there, the more natural the material, the better. So you mainly use...
We mainly use leather, but we do a vegan collection as well, which is tricky because... vegan materials are synthetics, they're polyurethanes generally, and when we first began doing vegan shoes, we started off just doing cottons, textiles, very natural materials, which are obviously lovely to wear but not very durable long term for a shoe, so we're sort of struggling with that. And then we had a lot of our vegan customers asking for non-leather PUs basically. So we've started this process, and this is literally the first collection that we've put PUs into the collection, and we're still working.
What are PUs, Karen?
Polyurethane, and there's different levels of polyurethane in terms of the way they're manufactured, so different levels of chemical, and we're working with one that meets a BAFTA, which is a standard of the amount of chemicals used to produce it. But actually next week, 2 weeks time, I'm going to China to go to a fair to find there's actually materials now like coconut leathers, pineapple leathers. There's all kinds of amazing PU leathers, man-made leathers from natural materials, which is the next iteration that I want to start working on with our shoes. But, we're always learning and always evolving. But so synthetics have played a part in what we do, but I agree with you that for all-day wearing, it can be, it can make your feet sweat. And so that's what we've got to resolve it, and we'll keep working on it. Because then also it meets the ethical standard that a lot of our customers have, not harming animals.
Yes.
So, which is it's a more growing concern.
Lots of vegans.
Yeah, lots of vegans.
Vegans, this is your shoe store.
Yes, come see us. But we've resolved that too by using a canvas insole on a lot of our vegan shoes. So it's still a natural material under the foot.
Yes.
And then we use the PU on the outer and things like satin and on the inner.
Yeah.
And velvet, a lot of velvet.
Velvet, my favourite colour here. So materials are really, really important. So and I find a lot of people will spend a lot of money on shoes for nightwear that you might wear for a few hours.
Yeah.
Now, and they're usually the high heels, so we've already been through that. But I personally, for many, many years, I've spent more time, money, and effort into my day shoe because that's what I'm in all the time. So it's really important to invest in a really, really good quality shoe. Okay, so this is your toe box. Also, guys, if you're important to make sure you know your fitting for your shoes. So as a couple of points is that when you're buying shoes at a different time of the day, like as the day goes, your feet get a bit more swollen, especially in the hot weather as we're having at the moment. As we age as well, then our feet actually do get a bit bigger, our shape changes. So it's important not to think that you're going to be the same size, in your 20s as you are in your 50s.
I think that's a really important point because a lot of people get very fixated on their size with shoes and, well, probably with all garments, but it's so important to just go with how it feels and not worry too much. Like size is a little bit arbitrary, especially with the manufacturing that we do, but go with how it feels. Make sure you've got the spread and the space at the front of the shoe and don't just be like, well, I'm always a 37, so I need to be in the 37.
That's good. That's great advice.
Nice.
Yeah, and that's why it's important to have someone, you know, fit that shoe for you and look at what you're, you know, picking up, and the other thing is to making sure that you're using the right shoe for the right occasion. You know, so you know we see lots of people that are wearing maybe some, you know, slightly higher heeled shoes for work, but they may be walking 15-20 minutes to and from, you know, the train or the tram stop or whatever. So you know, maybe leave your work shoes at work and, you know, bring, you know, more of a runner shoe to and fro work. So you know, that's really, really important to make sure you've got the right shoe for the right occasion. And the other important thing is making sure that foot, obviously we've spoken about mobility and making sure those joints are moving to support that whole structure from the ground up, but it's also important, make sure you're getting shoes too that you're wearing every day that really hold that foot in, and especially if you've got like foot already and heel problems or diabetes, you want to make sure that, you know, you've got a good lace up, you've got some nice Velcro shoes. Now we've got some beautiful shoes here. We've got this little one, which is a nice little lace up, and it's got holes, which is great for summer.
Cut. We call it laser cut.
Laser cut. That sounds better, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And you know, like I can stick my orthotics in those. So we've got my foot level orthotics would fit beautifully. And it is, you know, I'm Italian, so we like nice looking things. So and it's got to do the job. So these just tick all those boxes, guys. So here's a nice lace up. I'm just going to grab that Velcro.
Yeah.
Nice. So this little one here is a great run around. It looks fabulous with jeans, dresses, whatever, guys. And you can again fit your orthotics in there, but if you don't need orthotics, it's got a really lovely support in there as well. So that's a great.
That one's really good too because through the throat it's got the padding, so it's going to support the ankle as well if you're walking long distances. So. And that's quite intentional. Like the rear quarter is the right height for keeping the ankle supported and contained. And yeah, we do recommend this shoe a lot for people with, especially like a broader midsole, and it's got the space through the front. Yeah, and it's got the removable insole, so you can put your orthotic in too.
Yeah, this is just great. So
substantial,
beautiful. Shoe. I have never seen such support around that ankle there. So yeah, lovely padding there. So really, really love it. So guys, really important to make sure you spend that time and effort into shoes, and come down in North Melbourne and see Karen.
Come see me.
What days do you open, Karen?
Actually for March we're going to start opening a bit more. So for summer I'll say what we are doing. From next week we'll be open Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Wednesday by appointment. So and we're open 11 till 5. Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday 11 till 3.
Oh, wonderful.
Come and see us.
Well, guys, I've got to go because I've got some serious shopping to do.
Shopping.
And thanks, everyone. And any questions, just you know, give either of us a
www.radicalyes.com.au.
Great, good. And I'll write that down in case you missed it. All right, bye, everyone. Thank you.